So we are remaining with the last topic, what is called as the spanning trees. Okay. So I just want to introduce this, and then in the next class we can cover this also. So spanning trees. So again we are talking about something about trees. So try to understand my point. When I'm talking about spanning trees, if I give you any graph, any connected graph. So let me give you any connected graph. So this is some connected graph, right? G. Now what is the meaning of the spanning tree? So definitely G is not a tree as it contains loops, parallel edges and what is called as a cycle. G is not a tree anymore. So my target is extract a tree from here. That means you draw a subgraph of this which has same number of vertices. So because G has 4 vertices, you take 4 vertices and draw a tree using the 4 vertices and using these edges only. So you see, if I take this edge, you cannot take this one because this is not present here. You are only allowed to take this many edges. If I am taking this edge and this is a tree, you see, I cannot take more edges because the vertices is 4. So I am only allowed to take in a tree only 3 edges. So 1, 2, 3. So this is what is called as the spanning tree of G. So what is the meaning of the spanning tree? So a tree, first of all, which is obtained by taking edges from this graph and having the same number of vertices as G. But you might argue, sir, I could have also drawn this way. That you could have taken this, you could have taken this, you could have taken this. Right? You could have taken this and this. Still this is a tree. So this is also a minimum spanning tree. And you can draw many more. So if I call this as G1 and if I call this as G2, we say that G1 and G2 are spanning trees of G. So from here you can understand that spanning trees are not unique. You can draw many spanning trees given a given graph, right? So you can not only drawing this, you can also draw in many other manners, right? So this is what is the concept of the spanning trees. So let me define what I mean by a spanning tree. So definition is this. Let G be a connected graph. So connectedness is very much important. When the graph is not connected, we don't talk about the spanning tree. So let G be a connected graph and T be a subgraph of G. Okay, so let G be a connected graph and T be a subgraph of G. T is said to be a spanning tree. So a spanning tree, okay, it can be many. There can be many spanning trees. So a spanning tree of G. So when will I call a subgraph? These are definitely subgraphs. This is the part of this graph. When will I call this subgraph a spanning tree? If first condition is what? T is a tree. It should be a tree and contain all the vertices of G. So this is very, very important. It should contain all the vertices of G. So did you understand the meaning of spanning trees? What is the guarantee? What is the guarantee that the spanning tree exists? So this is guaranteed by a theorem, which I will not do the proof for the time being. So every connected graph has a spanning tree. So this is the guarantee of existence of spanning trees. You give me any connected graph, the spanning tree will definitely exist. So this is a theorem which guarantees that the spanning tree will definitely exist. Okay. Now, as already mentioned, spanning trees are not unique. So you can draw many spanning tree given in a connected graph. Now let's talk about a weighted graph. Okay, let's talk about a weighted graph. Suppose I have some weighted graph. One, 2, 5, 7, 2. This is some weighted graph G. So let's draw some spanning trees. So what is the spanning tree? So it should have 4 vertices, that is guaranteed. So I can take this. So it should have definitely 3 edges, because spanning tree being a tree, it satisfies all the properties of a tree. And what is one property of a tree we know? If your tree has n vertices, it will have n minus 1 edges. So because it has 4 vertices, it will have only 3 edges. And it should not contain any cycle, right? You cannot take this as the spanning tree. This is not a spanning tree because it has a cycle. So this is 7, this is 5, this is 1. So this is some spanning tree T1. Let's draw another spanning tree T2. Hold on, this is not working. This. So this is another spanning tree. Right? This is another spanning tree. I can draw another one like this here. Let me draw another one here. Let's draw another spanning tree. Let me take this 3 this time. So this is 7, this is 2, this is 5, and you can draw many more. Okay, you can draw many more. You can draw this way also. Okay. Now, among these spanning trees, we are interested to find the one having the least weight. So there can be many more. Okay, this is not, I'm not just claiming that there are 4 spanning trees. There can be more spanning trees. Okay. Now my just point is this: whatever spanning trees you are drawing, you choose the one having the smallest or the least weight. This has got the weight 13, this has got 5, this has got 14, this has got 14. Now whatever I have drawn, and you consider all the possible ones, I am guaranteeing that this is the spanning tree which has got a minimum weight. This is a spanning tree having the minimum weight. So what is this is called as the minimum spanning tree, MST. Okay, so what is the definition of a minimum spanning tree? So what is the definition of a minimum spanning tree? A spanning tree a spanning tree of a graph, of a weighted graph, because we only talk about minimum spanning tree because the word minimum talks about some number, right? Minimum number, something like that. So a spanning tree of a weighted graph having the least weight is called a minimum spanning tree, MST. In short form, I'll say that as MST. So I talked about spanning trees. I also talked about minimum spanning trees, right? So am I clear what I said about spanning trees and minimum spanning trees? Now let me ask you a few questions. You know spanning trees are not unique. So my next question is minimum spanning tree unique? So again, minimum spanning tree may not be unique. As you can see here, this is also like whatever spanning tree you take, whatever spanning tree you take, okay, what will happen? Sorry, I'm drawing it again. So let me, I should take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. There should be 4 edges. So this I can take, this I can take, this I can take, this I can take. This is also a minimum spanning tree having weight 4. But if I'm taking this, this is also a minimum spanning tree having weight 4. Which one has a cycle? No, none of them has a cycle. Where is the cycle? No, right? And they are not isomorphic in check. Okay, so what is my point? Minimum spanning tree may not be unique. As you can see here, I have drawn two graphs, two spanning trees, both having weight 4, and they both are the minimum spanning tree. So again, minimum spanning tree may not be unique. Now just one more minute. So we're remaining with few topics like how to find a minimum spanning tree. Like this is a very simple graph, I can draw like that. But suppose a graph has 10 vertices or 20 vertices and you are supposed to find a minimum spanning tree for that graph. So how will you do that? So there are again many algorithms for determining the spanning tree, minimum spanning trees. Two such being Kruskal's algorithm and Prim's algorithm. Again, I don't know whether Prim's algorithm and Kruskal's algorithm are in your syllabus or not. Maybe in the next class, that is maybe your last class, I guess. In the next class, I'll be discussing with Prim's or Kruskal's algorithm, any one I can do in that limited time. I'll give one as a homework to do, not that difficult. And again, I'll be again talking about the Floyd-Warshall algorithm, which I could not complete today due to some reason. So I will do the Floyd-Warshall algorithm and I'll teach you how to find the minimum spanning tree, maybe using the Prim's algorithm or using the Kruskal's algorithm. Okay. So just last minute, why do we care about minimum spanning trees? What exactly is the minimum spanning tree giving us? Why do I care? See, one reason I can explain is that suppose these 4 places represent some cities, okay, and my point is this, and these are some airlines. That means there is some air routes for go from this place to this place, and this represents the cost factor for maintaining things. Okay, so suppose XYZ airline company has this scenario. That means to go from this to this, some maintenance cost is required by the company and so on is 7, 5 and so on. Now the company cannot bear this many maintaining cost. Okay, so what company wants to do? Company wants two things. One, to minimize this cost, to minimize the maintenance cost, but at the same time the company also wants that the airline can still fly from one city to another city. It should not be like it should not like it's like you might it cannot be like this. The company do not want like this kind of scenario, because if this is the scenario, the company the flight no more can flow from this city to this city, because there is no route. So the company wants minimally connected route. Minimally connected means that is a tree and having the least cost. That means the company is talking about minimum spanning tree. So we will try to find the minimum spanning tree of this, which is this. Now see here, what is the advantage? The the plane can also now travel from any city to any other city. You can see, if you want to go from here this city to this city, the plane can still go via this city, as you can see. If you want to go from this city to this city, this is also allowed. So the connectedness remains the same. That means connectivity should not be hampered, but you want the minimum connectivity. So, and you see, this high maintenance cost are removed here. So that will be the advantage of the company. So this is why we care about minimum spanning trees. There are many applications of minimum spanning tree. This is just one of them. Okay, so this is all about today. Thank you for joining the class. Okay, so we have talked about what is called as minimal spanning trees. So I gave you the significance of that. So now we want to find out the minimal spanning tree of some graphs. So what was the definition of a minimum spanning tree? As already mentioned, so it is the what is called a subgraph of the tree, a subgraph of a graph which is a tree and which has got all the vertices. So how to find minimum spanning trees? Okay, how to find a minimum spanning tree of some graph? So the answer is given by two algorithms. One is Kruskal's algorithm and one is Prim's algorithm. Though they are not mentioned in the syllabus, but they have mentioned minimum spanning tree. So whenever the question to find minimum spanning tree comes, you have to definitely use one of the two algorithms. Okay, so today I'll be discussing with the Kruskal's algorithm, and then maybe after your internal exams I'll be discussing with Prim's algorithm. Okay, if I get time. So the question is, find a minimal spanning tree. So minimum spanning trees, as already mentioned, may not be used or may not be unique. So that is the reason I'm writing A. So find a minimum spanning tree using Kruskal's algorithm. So let me give you the graph. So this. And they have got the weights. This has got the weight 2, this has got the weight 9, this has got the weight 4, and these two are remaining. Now this is remaining, so this one has got the weight 8 and this one has got the weight 12. So I have given, there are more, this is 2, this is a loop, and there is a parallel edge, suppose 5. So this is a graph given to you. The task is to find a minimum spanning tree of this graph. So as the name suggests, you have to find out the spanning tree having the minimum weight using Kruskal's algorithm. And what is the meaning of spanning tree? it should be a tree. So all the properties of tree must be satisfied. So because your graph has how many vertices? 5 vertices. So your tree can only contain 4 edges. So keep that in mind. Out of this many edges, you have to choose only 3 edges. But you cannot choose that randomly. Because if you are choosing 1, 2 and 3, this is forming a cycle, so that cannot be a tree. Okay. So let's see what algorithm says. The first step of the algorithm is to remove all the loops. So definitely your tree do not contain any loop. So we should definitely remove the loops. So loops should not be taken into consideration. So we will remove this loop. You can draw again a graph without this loop. So this will not be required by us, right? Because in trees we know there cannot be any loops. Similarly, remove all the parallel edges having the more weight. So I can see only 1 or 2 parallel edges here. I will remove one of them. Which one I will remove? I will remove the one carrying the maximum weight. I will remove the one which is carrying the maximum weight, because I am talking about the minimum spanning trees. I do not want more weight, I need less weight. So the connection between these two vertices was by this edge or this edge, but the cost is less here, so we will remove this edge also. So this is your first step. We remove all the parallel edges and loop, if any. So if there are any parallel edges or loops, we first remove them. If there are no parallel edges or no loops, then we can start with the algorithm. Now it is based on something called as greedy algorithm. So you start with an edge having the least weight. Okay. So let me give the vertices a name. A, you can give by yourself. B, C, D, E. So now we will choose an edge. Having minimum weight. So I can see only one is here. But suppose if there are many, you can choose any one of them without any hesitation. So I will choose the edge. I'll choose the edge EA. I'm choosing the edge EA. I'm choosing this edge. I'm choosing the edge EA. Why? Because it has got the minimum weight. So what is the weight? So weight must be in the ascending order. The weight is 1 and edge included in MST. Yes or no? We want to take this edge in our minimum spanning tree. Why? Because it has got minimum weight. So we will take it. Next, I'll write some remarks. I'll tell you what I mean by remarks here. So this is the first step. Now take the edge. Which is minimum. So I can see 2. I'll take this edge. So what is the edge? AD, right? What is the edge? AD. So AD, the weight is 2. Again, I want this edge in my minimum spanning tree. What is the next weight? It is 3, but I cannot take it. Because that will form a cycle. Let me write it down. ED. So ED has weight 3. We want to take ED as our next edge because it is minimum, that is very sure. But I cannot take this edge in my minimum spanning tree due to the fact that if I include this edge in my minimum spanning tree, this will form a cycle, and whenever there is a cycle, you know that that is no more a tree. That is by definition. So in remarks, why I am taking this edge in my minimum spanning tree? No cycles formed. So when I am taking this edge, no cycle is being formed. No cycles formed. but when I'm taking this edge, cycle is formed. Okay, so we cannot take this edge in my minimum spanning tree. I'll do this, I'll repeat this process. Which is the next edge that you want to take? Which is the next edge that you want to take having length 4? Length 4, I can say 2 of them. You can take any one. As already said, when there is a repetition of edges, you can choose any one without any hesitation. So suppose I am taking, suppose you can also take this one, doesn't matter. But suppose I am choosing this one first. That is my choice completely. So what is the name of the edge? It is DC, having the edge 4, weight 4, and this will be included because this is not giving us a cycle. So no cycle formed. So we are happy to take this. And next, so you see how many edges do we need in our minimum spanning tree? Because the number of vertices is 5, we need 4 edges. I have already taken 3 edges. One more edge is required, then we stop. Let's see what is another edge that is there. So next is 4. Can I take this edge EC? Yes or no? Can we take the edge EC? What do you think? Can I take the edge EC? Right or across? Cross, because that will again give us cycle. Can you see if I am taking this edge? So this and this is giving us a cycle. So this is again a cross. Again the reason is cycle form. So next one, after 4 in the ascending order, I cannot see, I cannot say 5, I cannot say 6, 7, 8. 8 I can see. 8, there are 2 of them. One is here. So can I take this? I can take this also, I can take this also. The choice is completely mine. Okay, so I am taking this one. Suppose you could have also chosen this one. Okay, that is up to you. So the next edge that I am choosing is AB having weight 8, taken, no cycles found. So we stop. Why do we stop here? We stop. Why are you stopping? Because I needed 4 edges in my minimum spanning tree. Because my graph has got 5 vertices. So by the definition of a tree, it will definitely have 4 edges. I have taken 4 edges. So we stop as MST has 5 minus 1 edges. Because 5 is the number of vertices, so this many edges. So we are ready to draw the minimum spanning tree. So we'll draw the minimum spanning tree exactly like this. Whatever I have drawn with the brown pen, I'll draw this. This is your minimum spanning tree. So let me draw in the next page. So what is the required MST? Required minimum spanning tree. You can write in full form, okay? So how did I make? It was drawn like this. Something like this. Whichever I have taken, I am drawing that only, okay? So it was something like this and it was something like this. And we'll write down the weight. This weight was 4, this is 2, this is 1, this is it. So this is your required MST. And what is the weight of the MST? It is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. So it is 15. So this is your minimum cost. So suppose, so you see this is a connected graph, and definitely because every tree is connected, and this is the minimum, and this has got the minimum cost. So this is not unique as already mentioned, but whatever minimum spanning trees you will get, its weight will be definitely 15, not less than that. So am I clear with the Kruskal algorithm? So let's try to find the minimum spanning tree of this diamond looking graph using the Kruskal's algorithm. So the first step is to remove all the parallel edges having the more weight and loops, because that is not included in the trees, so which is not present here. So we skip step 1 because there are no parallel edges and no loops at all. So good enough, that's a very good thing there. So now we are ready. So we'll first choose the edge. Having the least weight, right? Which is either this or this. The choice is completely yours. As already said, the minimum spanning trees may not be unique, but the minimum weight of the spanning tree will be same. Okay. So suppose I am choosing this. If you do not like this, you can also choose this. I can assure you that your answer will also be correct. So edges, which edge I am choosing? I am choosing BE, edge BE. What is the weight? The weight is 1. So edge included in MST. So do I want this edge in my MST? Yes, I need this edge in my MST because that is carrying less weight, no? So I need it. And why? Remarks, because no cycle is getting formed. So no cycles. Good. So we are happy to take this edge. Remember, this time my MST will contain 5 edges, because how many vertices are there? 6 vertices are there. So my number of edges will be 5. Next, can I also take this one? Yes, I can also take this one without any hesitation, because this is also not forming any cycle, right? So next I am taking ED having edge 1, edge included, yes. Reason is same, no cycles formed. Next, I can see 2. There are so many 2s, this 2, this 2, this 2. You can choose any one in the beginning. Suppose I am choosing this one. EF. You can choose any one, okay? It's not like, sir, why are you choosing this and not this? You can choose any one. The weight is same, that doesn't matter. I am choosing EF having edge weight 2. Is it included? Yes. The reason is obvious, no cycles formed. But when I have chosen this edge, this cannot be taken anymore. So next one is DF. DF is also 2, but this cannot be taken, because if I am taking this, it is giving us cycles. So cycles formed. So I do not want this edge in my minimum spanning tree. Another one is 2. I can also take this because no cycle is formed. So next one is also 2. Yes, no cycles formed. Right. What is the next one after 2? One more 2 is here. So are we supposed to take this? Yes, we are supposed to take this because no edge is getting. Yes, so we are done. Because I have 5 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We stop. So no cycles form. So we stop here. You know the reason why I am stopping here. So we stop here, as MST has 6 minus 1 edges. So that is 5 edges. And what is the required minimum spanning tree? Again I am repeating, this is not unique, because if you would have chosen this one, you could have got a different MST, but the weight will be same. So what is my MST? I'll just draw this brown lines, okay? I'll just draw this brown lines. Let me draw my MST then. So my MST looks something like this. So this is my MST. This is a tree, definitely. If you're not getting a tree, you have done some mistake. 1, 2, 3. So this is my MST. I can name them A, B. This is C, this is D, this is E, this is F. So this is my MST, and what is the weight of the MST? The weight is 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6, 7, 8. So whatever MST you will get, it is definitely going to have a weight of 8. Okay, that is for sure, but you may get a different figure, but that is also a MST of the given graph. So MST may not be unique. So one algorithm of finding MST is Kruskal's algorithm. Do you want to ask anything?